Hi guys and welcome back to another episode of Battle of Reykjavik. And since the last episode, we have played 5 matches, and they've been 5 very important matches in terms of our position in the Icelandic Premier Division. So first up was a relegation fight between us and Keflavik, and it was a 0-0 ball draw. We had more of the possession, but neither team could make enough opportunities to warrant even a highlight in the game. I think there might have been about 2 highlights, and none of them were really good chances. So that was a bit upsetting. But then things got even worse with the next game against Valur, which we lost 3-1. Kristinn Frey Sigurdsson getting the hat trick for Valur. Bjorgvin Steffensen getting his first goal for us, which brought it back to 2-1. But obviously it wasn't enough. I'll just show you Bjorgvin Steffensen's goal. I think it was his first goal for us. Said something like that when he scored. So Stefanov played it out wide to Steingrimsson. Goes past the defender, crosses it in, and Steffensen nods it in at the front post. Steingrimsson with the assist. Does it say anything? Don't think it says anything. No. Pretty sure that was his first goal though. Where is he? Yeah, it was his first league goal. First league goal for Bjorgvin Steffensen in a 3-1 defeat. But then we followed that up with a beautiful 2-0 victory against Fram, who were above us in the table. At this point, I think we'd been knocked down into the relegation positions, but this win against Fram moved us that much closer to getting out of the relegation positions. Victor Johnson getting a brace. I'll show you both of them. The Rock got booked as well, unfortunately. But Asgeisen plays it to Paulson, and Paulson with a beautiful through ball to Johnson, who finishes. That was his first, and let's find his second. So that first goal was his 10th goal of the season. This goal coming up with a long ball from Steffensen. Johnson nudges the defender out of the way, and it was a brilliant shot to beat the keeper. It was his 11th goal of the season. So like I said, nice 2-0 victory. Taking our chance as well. 10 shots, 5 on target. They had more shots than us, but they didn't have the accuracy. And the next game was another relegation battle. It was against Fjordbygud. That's how you say that. And they did have a chance to go ahead in the first half, but Victor Owen Goodmanson missed his penalty, which was a relief to us, as we never looked like scoring a goal in the entire game. As you can see, 7 shots, 0 on target, and we committed 15 fouls, so we played quite dirty in this game, it appears. But I think this game was just a bit of a write-off. 0-0, it was a point. We could have actually secured our safety in this game with a win, but it wasn't to be. And then the final game that I've played was against IA, and this one I wasn't expecting us to win at all. We could have again mathematically secured our safety, and we did. As you can see, we won 1-0. Stefan Paulsen penalty in the 80th minute, but I was not expecting us to beat them. I thought I was going to have to go down to the last day of the season against a very tough opposition in Stjarnan, but we managed to get the win on the day. Stefan Paulsen, beautiful penalty for once. There we go, top left hand corner. Normally misses penalties in games for us, so it's nice to see him score one. And they did actually, after we scored that penalty, they woke up. We had most of the game before that, but they woke up, and in the last 10 minutes, it was just all IA, and we had our backs against the wall, but we managed to stay 1-0 up and guarantee our safety. So I'll just show you the Premier Division as it stands. We are 8th. The highest we can finish is 7th, and the lowest we can finish is 10th. And should look around the championship picture for a second. Obviously, Stjarnan are the team we're playing in the next game. They can still win the league if FH lose to Leikni Reykjavik, or even if FH draw with Leikni Reykjavik. Stjarnan can win the league if they manage to win 3-0 or more. I don't know what happens if they win 2-0. It'll probably go on to something else. Let's have a look at that actually, the rules. What happens if they win 2-0 in the joint on goal difference? Goal difference and goals scored. So who scored more goals? FH will have scored more goals, but obviously that depends on the results. But Stjarnan can still mathematically win the league. They're the team they're playing against. And then in the other end of the table, Fjordbygud are currently in the relegation zone. and it's going to be a tough one for them to get out of, really. They're playing Valur, who are 6th, who we got beaten by 3-1. But for to be good, need a 2-goal swing between them and Fram. So they need Fram to get beaten. It's quite possible. I mean, IA are a good team up in 4th. They'll still be... no, they won't be pushing because they have to win like 9-0. That was silly. And then some transfer news as well. Even though I don't think our window is actually open, but we have sold Georgi Stefanov to Govella for 25.5 thousand. Loads of teams, just like, I think it was the transfer deadline day for Europe, it was like 31st of August, and loads of teams, it must have been about 8, from like Ligue 2, Serie B, all over the place in Europe, and they all came in for offers, with offers from him even, and I just accepted them all because he hasn't really been playing that much, and how was his value gone up so much? That is crazy. He was only valued at 24,000 for us, so I sold him because that was above our valuation of him. But as you can see, he's played 3 games and he's got an average rating of 6.63, so not the best. They're in the Ukrainian Premier League. Obviously, don't have that activated. It'll be interesting to see how he gets on there. It's valued at 475,000 now. That is ridiculous. I could see why you'd probably want to go there. That's all of the important news that I had to tell you, so we'll just get into the match against Stjarnan. So here we are for the Stjarnan Vikingur match, the final game of the league season, and we've not got really got anything to play for, but we can stop Stjarnan from winning the league if we beat them, or if we hold them to a draw even. So Stefan Paulsen is suspended for this one, so Björgvin Steffensen comes in place of him. Erlinger Agnesson is a bit tired on the conditioning, so Valdemar Ingi Johnson is playing at right midfield instead of him, and the rest of the team is as it was for my last league game. We've got Aarons in goal, Snorrison, Ibiaga, The Rock and Lowing at the back, as Gaius and just in front of them. Steingrimson, Good Johnson, and as I said, Johnson in the midfield. And then Steffensen and Johnson up front, our top scorer, with 11 goals this season. I think it was 11. Let's just double check. We've got 13. My bad. 13 goals in all competitions this season. That includes non-competitive ones as well. Oh, whatever. So this is his best goal-scoring season so far. He's originally from us. He's from our youth team originally. So that's nice to see. He's getting some sort of game time. Worked his way through the ranks at Vikingur to become our starting striker. So we'll just do a quick team talk and we will get into it. So, like I said, nothing for us to play for apart from wanting to finish as high as possible, which would be 7th. Obviously that depends on how Fjolnir do as well. But the bottom and top of the table still have things to be decided. So it should be an interesting final day of the season in the Icelandic Premier Division. Lowing's got to throw in now. Gives it to Johnson. Good Johnson. Steffensen. Great pass from Steffensen to Johnson. We love those balls around the back of the defenders. Victor Johnson just needs to hold it up, and he does. Gives it to Valdemar. Steffensen. Oh, it was a good tackle from their defender. Snorrison won the header, but it wasn't good enough. And we start again. Ibiaga, long ball, looking for Johnson, but Arneson intercepts it again. Clears it. Ibiaga intercepts it. And Djokovic gets tackled by our player. Johnson. Can he give it to someone in space on the right? Yep, that's a brilliant pass. Brilliant pass from Victor to Valdemar. And Valdemar shoots, I think. I think that was probably a cross, but that looked like it was about to go in. Steffensen with the corner. It's cleared by Laxdal. Good start from us here, though, after a couple of minutes. Especially given their league position and our league position. Maybe they've switched off. I would highly doubt it, seeing as they're in with a shout of becoming league champions. And I think it's only the team that finishes top that gets Champions League football as well, so that's a bit strange. As you can see, we've fallen down to 10th. Reykjavik and Fram must be both winning. Otterson gives it to Gudjonsson. Possible chance for Stjarnan now. Gudjonsson to Jelmich. Dupont, he sounds French. Oh, he's hit that over the bar. That was a great chance for them. They should have scored that. Definitely should have scored that. So as it stands at the top of the table, FH are going to be winning and Fjordbygud are going to be getting relegated. We've got to throw in now. Lowing, they gives it to Gudjonsson. And it was a bad pass. Bjornsson cleared it. Ibiaga got there though. It's Guyson. Stephenson. Back to Ibiaga. It's Guyson. Johnson out wide to Valdemar. Valdemar, another one of those crosses that look like shots. He's got to get lucky with one of them eventually. Stein Grimson crosses it. Ibiaga's there and he shoots, but it's blocked by Djokovic and he comes away with the ball. Snorrison wins that back for us. So almost at half time. Still 0-0. Would be a good result for us, this 0-0 against second in the table. Just thinking ahead to next season, I obviously want us to regress away from being a team that just narrowly avoids relegation every season. So hopefully we'll be able to get up to mid-table. Half time here though, and it's 0-0. And should I make any subs? Valdemar's not performing at his best. Stein Grimson's a bit tired as well. So just see what we can do. So obviously we've got Agnesson on the bench, but I don't want to risk him this early, really. He's the only one that can play in those two positions. So I think we'll leave it as it is for now. And then around the 60th minute mark we might make a couple of changes. And Breidablik have gone below us, so we're down to 9th. Fram must still be winning. And Fram are the only team that could get relegated. It's between them and Fjordbygud. Again, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong about the pronunciation of that team name, because it's not my home language, obviously. Otterson with a chance to cross it in. That's cleared only to Otterson. Another chance. Dupont, and there's their goal to put them 1-0 up. So we're losing 1-0 now for 47 minutes. That puts the top of the table. FH and Stjarnan are level on points. FH must be top on goal difference. That's ridiculous. You see, that knocks us down to 9th. Jelmich, Bardal, Konradson, crosses it, Otterson. Oh, they've made it 2. Could we be about to hand the league title to Stjarnan? I think we could. I think they just need one more goal to win the league on goal difference. So I'm going to make some changes. Stein Grimson's looking a bit tired. Let's take him off. Bring on Agnesson for 35 minutes or whatever it is. Hopefully it'll be able to last that long. It's a bit of a risk. Then we'll bring on Barden for Gudjonsson and just do their quick team talks. Pressure's off. And pressure's off. Deep in thought when there's no pressure. Brilliant. That's what I like to hear. He's thinking about the fact that there's no pressure on him and what that means to him. What he can do. Or maybe he's just thinking about what he's going to have for tea. Snorrison throws it to Agnesson. It's Johnson. Barden was there. Oh, it was intercepted though. The Rock gives it to Guyson. What on earth was that? What? The two centre backs, Ibiaga and the Rock, just parted like the Red Sea there. That one of them's coming off, I'm afraid. That was just absolutely awful. Absolutely atrocious defending there. It was like it was a pass to one of them, and they were just like, "Oh, you have it. No, you have it." And no one got it. So Stjarnan have gone top. Well, at least we're helping someone out. 3-0. 3-0 victory for Stjarnan, putting them top of the league. It would be so gutting for them if FH just picked up a win now. Bjornsson, the substitute, clears it. But it's gone straight back to Stjarnan. Snorrisson clears it again, but that's gone back to Stjarnan as well. Otterson, we've got one already today. A long ball across the field to Christensen. It's Otterson again. Can Snorrisson get a foot in? He tried. Good Johnson to Christensen. Someone tackle him, please. 4 would just be embarrassing. I mean, 3's pretty bad. Laxdal, Borden with the block. Oh no, it wasn't. It was passed back to Jukovic. A very slow build-up play from Stjarnan here. Came to nothing. End of highlight. So we've used all 3 of our substitutions. So we have been on top in possession, but our chances have been non-existent, practically. No shots on target. 2 shots, but none on target. Bjornsson. Oh, it's another defensive error. He made up for it. Which is more than I can say Ibiaga and the Rock did for that goal. Terrible stuff. Victor Johnson. He's just going to have a shot, isn't he? Yeah, thought so. Didn't expect him to score from there. And I'm going to tell him to shoot on sight. I don't like the low number of shots we've had, so if I tell them to shoot on sight, hopefully they'll do what it says on the tin and shoot some more. If you don't shoot, you don't score, to use an old cliche. Fram have just equalised against IA. It puts them level on points with us. Well, we've had one more shot. Oh, Breidablik have conceded against KR. So we're back up to 8th, where we started the day. There's 3 teams, with two other teams with us on 24 points. There's Bjornsson, Jelmic. Good block by Asgaierson. I couldn't get my words out, but he just gives that away as well. I don't know whether the team's just switched off, but that's a brilliant pass from Snorrisson. Johnson's through on goal. It's Victor Johnson. Yeah, I think the team's just switched off. They've got the mindset that their job's done for the season. They're on the holidays already. They've avoided relegation. They can only finish 7th, highest the place they can finish, and there's a 4th for Stjarnan. So Stjarnan guaranteed the league title, providing FH don't grab a goal late on. That'd be reminiscent of Man City winning that league title against QPR with Aguero. It's Otterson. Good save by Aarons. Kind of want FH to score now. Don't think they're going to. We're in the last few seconds of the game, last few seconds of the season, and it's going to be a 4-0 defeat away to Stjarnan, who are the league champions. So we can't really complain too much. Hopefully next season we would be able to complain, because hopefully we're going to be a better side next season. I'm going to try and hold on to most of our good players, most of the players that have been playing in the first team. I think we're going to have a few offers for them. It's whether they want to go, because if they want to go, I'm not going to make them stay, but I'd rather keep players like Agnesson and Victor Johnson. There's confirmation of Stjarnan winning the Premier Division title. Just have a look. So there's Fjordabygd have been relegated. Stjarnan, the league champions, FH finishing 2nd, Vikingur Reykjavik 3rd. So European places all go to Stjarnan, FH, Vikingur Reykjavik, and us, thanks to our Icelandic Cup victory. Just quickly go through the news items. So Fjordabygd relegated. Breidablik have sacked their manager. Obviously, finishing, did they finish 10th? Not sure, let's have a look. Yeah, they finished 10th. Well done, Andrew. Good knowledge. So they finished 10th in the season, which obviously wasn't good enough for their board, and they decided to sack their manager. We've been given £3,800 for getting 9th place in Icelandic Premier Division, and the squad bonus is 8.75. I think I might have to try and Make sure I don't do bonuses like that in future. That's a bit worrying. I should look at the contract I'm offering players a bit more. Just a quick look at our finances as well. We're in the red, but hopefully with a good run in the Europa League, like we did the first season, that managed to get our finances back on a level playing field. I think we got up to like 300,000, and then we had loads of money to spend in the transfer window, which I spent, and then that's caused us to be so poor financially. And that's why that's there. So that is the end of the season. Just have a look. No, I won't do that. I won't do that yet. So that is the end of the season, and we have managed to avoid relegation yet again. So next season, we're realistically wanting to try and stabilise ourselves as a good mid-table team in the Icelandic Premier Division. We don't want to be fighting relegation again. So we've got to hold on to our best players, and I'll be back with I've really done a review, haven't I? I've already done the season review, practically, just then. Although, I could just quickly go into the statistics. So, have we got any players that are in the top 3 of anything? Yes, clean sheets. Richard Aaron's got the most clean sheets in the league with 10. 10 games out of 22 where he's kept a clean sheet. Magnussen and Paulsen joint top on the number of yellow cards they've received. As you can see, Icelandic Premier Division has gone up from last season to this 5 places in the competition reputation rankings. We've got 3 injuries, and I think that's all that we really need. We could just have a look at the goals. Oh, this is interesting. We've been on this before. Where's the goals? There's the goals. Have we got anyone? Oh, they don't show you that many. It's a bit disappointing. Detailed. Goals. Right, they only show us the top 20. Oh, there's Victor Johnson. Joined 5th with Rolf Toft. That's not bad, son. Not bad going at all. It's his best season. Victor Johnson's best season with us. 9 goals. That's just made me think that I'll have a look at the average rating for the teams. So as you can see, none of the players particularly good. Top 3, Agnesson, Stephenson and The Rock, pretty close to having a 7.0 average rating, which isn't that bad. Who's been Richard Aarons has obviously been a constant in our team this season. Doffy Snorson's only missed 1 game. It's not bad. And obviously top goal scorer by a mile, Victor Johnson. And a few of the midfielders and a couple of strikers in amongst the mix with that as well. But that is it for second season as Vikingur Reykjavik manager. We'll be back with a season preview, kind of, maybe. Yeah, I'll be back with like a roundup of any transfers I've done, any transfers that have gone out, the friendlies that we've played in the pre-season, and it'll be the Upper League Cup game that we'll be back for. So the first game of the Upper League Cup. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to hit the like button. Subscribe to my channel to get all my content when it comes out. Feel free to leave a comment below. And I'll see you next time.